Hello AC Universe and welcome to Canada Crossing. My name is Danny and today we have a very special St. Patrick's Day collab video just for all of you. Now, today's challenge is to make a 9x9 area using green or St. Patty's Day themed items. So I'm very excited to get this collab started. I've actually decided that I'm going to do a farm-to-table potato farm. And what is more Irish than that? So, working on this collab with us today, we have some great creators. We have Honeyland Horizon, Daffodil Plays, Sweet Magnolia Sarah, Ellie Builds, Crossing Dragon, and Flourish Crossing. So you're going to want to check out all their builds, and their links will be in the description below. I can't wait to see what they come up with. We all also had to select a specific item for each other, and then have the wheel randomize who was getting each item. So I have received the Raja Brook butterfly model, which of course is green. All the items had to be a green item, and I received that. Now, if you have watched my channel for a while, you know that bug models are not my favorite thing to use, but I think we make it work here, and of course the green is gonna work. So we just finished doing our little barn there with the storefronts and the shed. I love the look of it. I was toying with putting the door, like turning the shed around and having the door just not show, so you just saw the wood, because it actually goes the same direction as the wood on the storefronts. But in the end, I decided to just leave the door because I liked it as kind of like an entrance to the building. And I'm kind of glad I did that. So coming up with the idea of the potato farm, I was really kind of wondering what to do with this build. It had to be a 9x9 area. That was really the only kind of rule we had going. It had to be a 9x9 area, and obviously had to be green or represent St. Patrick's Day. So I came to think like, well, Irish potatoes, and I thought it was kind of interesting to actually do a bit of research on potatoes. It probably won't be as interesting to you, so I'm not going to ramble on too much about it, but I did find it interesting. Potatoes actually originated in South America, not Europe, and they were actually brought over to Ireland and the rest of Europe, so way later. Like, potatoes have been in South America for over 8,000 years, so that's where they're actually from, which is crazy to think about. We always think about, potatoes being very Irish, so there's a little factoid for you there. Also, thinking about Irish, we have to discuss the Irish potato famine. Now, that was kind of what made me think about Ireland, because it's such a devastating event in Ireland. And it started back in 1845. There was actually a fungus, or some sort of organism, that ruined about half the potato crops that year. And the famine actually lasted for the next 7 years and destroyed about 3/4 of the crops. Like, that's 75% of the crops were destroyed by this organism. It really was a horrible time for Ireland. They were actually at the time sending a lot of their crops over to Great Britain, so they didn't actually have food for themselves to eat because they were still loyal to the crown and had to send those crops over to Britain. So it lasted about 7 years, and unfortunately there was 1 million deaths during the Irish potato famine, which is insane. And about another 1 million people vacated Ireland and became refugees in other countries because there was no food. People were dying of starvation and malnutrition. It was just crazy to think about, like, especially think about how lucky we are in these days and age, like, to get whatever food we want. And it's pretty scary to think about. But you know what? That's not really what we're here to talk about. I just thought it was kind of interesting facts for you, and you can say you learned something from Canada Crossing today if you didn't already know about this. So you're welcome. You are welcome. So back to the build. Let's not talk about any more potato famines. We have so like I said, I wanted a farm to table kind of situation going on here. And so here's the table for that farm to table. And just having a nice little area. Again, try to put as much green in there without being too overwhelmingly green. I didn't want the green to hit you over the head. I really like this tablecloth pattern. It's actually one of the sable patterns that I've never used before, but I think it's a beautiful color of green and works perfectly for this kind of area. And then just, of course, using some log furniture. The cushion on the log firm, nothing, there's no custom patterns in this build. Everything is everything is a sable pattern that I've used. And there is a lot of different shades of green in this game we discovered by doing this challenge. It's kind of hard to kind of match them up. But these leaf stools, I just felt I had to use. I love the leaf stools, and I thought, let's just use them here. They're gonna kind of be hidden anyway. You're not really gonna see too much of them. But I really like them, and I thought they were very good. And we're gonna put some potato food, of course, on the table. I love a baked potato, I have to say. I don't know. You know what, also, I love potatoes. I know some people think potatoes are boring. I love potatoes. Like, a baked potato, I could just eat a baked potato for dinner, honestly. They're so good. What do y'all like on your baked potatoes? Let me know in the comments below. So, of course, we're gonna add a wooden partition because it's a Canada Crossing build. We have to, by law, required to have a wooden partition in every build. And there's our one. Oh, well, we already had one, sorry. This is the second one. So, spoiled. You're spoiled with your wooden partitions. So, St. Patrick's Day is a lot of fun. I have some Irish lineage in my DNA. Definitely have some Irish ancestors. So, of course, I mean, my name is Danny. Pretty Irish name there. Don't start singing "Oh Danny Boy" to me, please. That's my biggest pet peeve. But anyway, I digress. We are going to start planting our potatoes for our potato farm. And I didn't want to do a huge... I mean, we're working with a 9x9 area, so I couldn't do a huge potato farm, obviously. So we're just going to have 9 little crops here. And I wanted them at different stages of development and different stages of being watered. That's kind of the hardest part, because I had kind of pre-grown them. And then when I was digging them up, of course, then I would accidentally pick up some of the potatoes. And yeah, it was a whole thing. But overall, I think you get the idea that this is a potato farm. And I like the green of the leaf anyways, because we're doing kind of a green build. It definitely helps to have more of the green than the brownish kind of beigey potato. But it's gonna work. It's gonna work out for us. Normally I would speed my builds up just to do a speed build of them. This build actually went so quickly that I'm just doing it regular time for you, because otherwise it would be like a 3-minute video and I wouldn't have time to tell you those wonderful potato stories, and you would have really felt like you missed out. So you're welcome. You're welcome for me to slow down the video. I will say there, you're getting a beautiful look at that butterfly model that I had to use on your top of your screen there. The green of it is very neon green. It really was not working with a lot of my builds, I will say. But overall, I'm not mad about it. You know what? It's okay. It's okay. I'm at peace with the butterfly model. Am I going to start using them more often in my builds? Probably not. But if I was forced to, I know that I could make it work. How about that? How about that? It was kind of at this point where, you know, I basically thought I was done, and then thought, okay, I can fill up some more space here. There's some empty space. Let's get going. We can fill this up. All my cluttercore friends would be so mad if I just left it like that. So of course I had to add a whole bunch more stuff. And I really wanted to fit a barrel in just because I thought it would be so appropriate for the build. And the one thing I really wanted to fit into this build was the green tractor, but I could just not make it work. I couldn't fit it anywhere that made sense. It's just really big. Even when I put it at the back next to the windmill, it looks kind of funny, and I was like, no, I can't put it there. So I ended up leaving it out, but I don't feel like I really miss it. I just thought, you know, I don't get to use a tractor very much in any of my builds, and this would have been the build to use it. And you know what? It's fine. It's fine. So now I'm just going to plant some weeds just around the dirt, just to kind of fill in some of the blank space. I could have used some custom designs, but I thought, you know what? Let's use some weeds, some real weeds, and give it some 3-dimension. And although I don't love the color of these weeds, I do kind of pick them up and try to get the weeds I want. And I think you'll notice when we do the end tour that a bunch of them have changed because I've decided to change them up and pick them up and replace them until I get the weeds that I actually want. Okay, so we have finished the farm-to-table potato farm. Let's go have a look. I just went tonight to kind of give you a different perspective of it, and this is it. I really think we fit the brief perfectly. It is green, it is potato-y. I love it. I'm happy with it. I did add a couple little changes since the last time you saw the build. Just when I was walking through it, I was like, oh, I could add a few more things. So I thought of the wagon there. And I added another street light on this side, and then added the transportation stop there to kind of end the building a little bit better. And I do like the way that turned out. And that's it. This is our potato farm. I think it looks really cool. I'm really happy with it. So don't forget to check out the rest of the creators' builds for St. Paddy's Day. I can't wait to see what they came up with. The themes are crazy and they're going to be insane. So make sure you check my description and you'll find the links to all the other channels. Watch their builds. I cannot wait to see them. And like always, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Canada Crossing if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.